Hi, hello, how are you everyone? This is FlashBack with West Britain, and I'm West Britain, and you're about to hear an hour of celebrity interviews with folks from films, from TV, from music, from comedy, from old-time radio. We touch a lot of bases with entertainers from the past, present, and future. We're going to be telling you all kinds of stories with a lot of world experience and wisdom and all of the things that we know well in this generation. So stay tuned for Flashback with West Britain. Let me tell you a little bit about the madcap organization of today's show, featuring the Firesign Theatre. So you're going to be hearing lots of clips from 3 of the Rhino reissues of the Firesign's last albums, when all 4 of them were still alive. Now, when we set up this interview, it was supposed to be Phil Proctor and David Ossman together, but David slept in. He didn't join us until midway through, just about. So for a long time, it's me and Phil, and then you're going to hear a break, and then you're going to hear Karina. You haven't heard her voice in a while. All the way from Manchester, England, piping in with some questions for Phil, which David Ossman comes out of nowhere and answers. So it's going to be, well, you're going to be surprised. Expect the unexpected for real. And on next week's show, we will kick off with all us together at the same place at the same time. And then we'll also have some other hot blues here at the end of this hour. So, well, hope that made sense. That's what's happening in this next hour of Flashback with West Britain, madcap craziness with the Firesign Theatre, Karina, and West Britain, here on Flashback with West Britain.
Radio now.
Now, if it's not now, it sucks, okay?
All right, 2 past the hour, and those hours are passing quickly, and I am in your ears, you're in my mix, I have left my body, I'm in your head, I am Bebop Loco. Yeah, that's me, baby, the suspect, the outsider, and I'm looking for the hoochie cuties on
Weirdly Cool Perpetrators Playground. Rebel Fella Now Radio.
Man, that's who we are.
No, not anymore, Bebop. There's been a format change.
Mr. Producer, do we have a new focus group?
Yeah, they focus us up real good this time.
Well, what are we now?
Coming at you, Bob, man.
Extreme, no sense of humor, aggressive, in your face, now radio.
Oh, man, all right. It's 3 past the last on this day of all days, and me and the Now crew counting down with you till the end of time. I got Danny Vanilla on the street.
I'm right here dogging the dirt till the end of the world.
I got Chump Threads in the booth.
I got sports and new shorts coming into 7s, Beep.
All right, but every crew needs a captain. Let's go to our Dizzy Devil over Fun Town. Captain Happy Pandit in the Now Chopper.
Copy that, Bebop, and hello, folks. If you aren't swilling off his coffee in the Cube Farm by now, you're probably one of the gas govers I'm looking down at here on the 666. From Moyle Heights to the Santa Baby off-ramp, it's a mess. All lanes crawling slow and go behind 2 sacred cows pulling the Ark of the Covenant in the show-off lane. Yeah, roger. Just hearing now, the Edom intern is still being blocked by hostile natives in robes, diverting uncircumcised motorists onto the Goyim cutoff. So if you're not a helmet head, I would stay away from there. Looks like locusts down there.
Hey, those are locusts. We hear Captain Happy. Aren't those fumigants on their way to the Zillion Bug March?
Nuggets, all right, Bebop. Those. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, sorry, the chopper cops are backing me off to 1,500 ticks. So this is Captain Happy recycling off in the environmentally souped-up News Now chopper.
Mi vida loca. It's an unholy mess out there. We got another take from one of our rolling eyeballs on the ground. Mrs. Caroline P. on the car phone, baby.
Hello, my car just stopped in the middle of the freeway.
Is it the bugs?
Oh, it's the motherboard under my hood. It's going zeros.
Why?
Y2K.
What?
It's the millennium, stupid.
Well, I know that.
I can't know that.
Calm down, Mrs. P.
Get away from my car.
How bad can it be?
Get away from my car.
All right, things are beginning to unravel out there. Hey, we're at 4. Get ready for more on
Radio now.
Well, if it's not happening.
Hi, this is Phil Proctor.
And this is David Ossman.
of the Firesign Theatre. Back with Wes Britton.
Wes Britton and FlashBack. Join us now.
Or then.
Hey, everybody, did you know that we're all bozos on this bus? That everything you know is wrong. And we're all waiting for the electrician or somebody like him.
Someone like him.
Someone like him.
Right.
And if any of those titles ring a bell with you, then you were a fan of the Firesign Theatre. Oh, I forgot. Don't crush that dwarf.
And me the pliers. That's right. And how can you be in two places at once when you're not anywhere at all? Well, we are. Did you know
By the
that?
way, folks, that's Phil Proctor talking there. He's
Phil
one
Proctor.
quarter of the Firesign Theatre, one of the creators of all those projects that we listed off a few minutes ago. And we're waiting for his partner, David.
That's right. We're live, Wes. And that's because David and I are the only living members of the Firesign Theatre. Which
that's true. Mr. Bergman and Mr. Austin sadly left us.
We lost Mr. Bergman first, and he was the one who brought us all together on Radio Free Oz and KPFK back in the late 60s. And Phil Austin also passed away. And by gosh, we had a great run over 50 years, 50 years together, performing, writing, and we've got a couple of books coming out now, which I think are collections of our screenplays.
Yes.
And that's one of the things we'll talk about today.
I was about to say the main reason we kind of congregated today is that we're going to be talking about a book. I'm not sure how to pronounce the way they do Ulysses, but it's Ulysses and the Taco Cannibals from Outer Space.
Right. Why not? And by the way, I'm in the movie Amazon Women on the Moon. And also Lobster Man from Mars. So it's only fitting that the taco cannibals are out there somewhere. Nobody knows who's out there.
Well, that's for sure. Or even here at the time.
Right. So tell me a little bit about your show, FlashBack.
Well, you were on it last year.
Oh, I had a flashback about that. But tell me how you've been doing, what's your goal, how many people you've been
wait a minute. This is all about you, not me.
It's as I say, it's a two-way street, communication. Otherwise, it got
wait a minute. Before we get too far lost, what is in that collection we just mentioned? Those screenplays in Ulysses and the Taco Cannibals.
Well, I'll be darned if I know, because I haven't really read it yet. I've been on the road. I just got back from a musical cruise called the Big Easy Cruise with my friend Adele. It was quite wonderful. And David who is not with us, has been editing the project over a year or so. And it does, I know, include our screenplay for the movie Ulysses, which we were hired to write for, I think it was MGM, right? Many years ago. And unfortunately didn't get produced, which it's interesting because, again, just like all the Firesign Theatre material, it was very avant-garde. It was way ahead of its time. We were writing concepts for CGI, huge scenes with trucks colliding, and motorcycle drivers jumping cliffs and things, and all of which could be done easily today, but which then would have required some kind of amazing wizardry or very brave stuntmen,
They're very surreal scripts, folks. I can promise you that.
That's right. And great fun. I'm sorry we didn't get to make it. But we're known for making movies for your mind. So when you read the book, you can imagine it probably even better than the finished product would have been.
Especially if you've heard the albums, because you guys really like those bozos and squeezing their noses.
Their nozos, yes, indeed. Well, the whole history of writing with the Firesign Theatre was a wonderful gift that would rarely come to anybody else because we were signed to a contract at Columbia Records by John McClure, who was the head of the spoken arts department. And in exchange for a smaller royalty, we got unlimited free studio time.
Ooh.
All right. And that meant that we could write material, take it into the studio when it opened up, when there was a free time, and lay it down. And then informed by that, we could go back and write some more. We had an overall vision of what our album would be, but the opportunity to actually start laying it down and not to have to go in with a finished product, and put it all down was an enormous advantage to us as writers. Very, very rare. And we took full advantage of it, believe you me.
You guys really enjoyed parodies like that Ulysses, the various versions that are in the book
That's
are, well,
true.
parodies of Greek myths.
That's true. It was actually a parody that brought us our national fame when we released Nick Danger, Third Eye,
Yeah.
as the second side of How Can You Be in Two Places at Once, which is also known as the Marx Lenin album,
Yeah.
or the Lennon Marx album, depending on who gets top billing, uh, because we had pictures of John Lennon and Groucho Marx representing the communists, the communist state, right? And two very revolutionary comedians.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, that was a wonderful opportunity for people to grasp what we were doing, since so much of our writing was surreal, inspired by the Goon shows in England. If anybody knows them, Peter Sellers and Spike Milligan, right?
Yeah.
And anyway, that was something that people could relate to because it was a parody of detective movies and detective radio series.
You
But
guys like playing with Greek myths and Shakespeare and really any classic literature you can get your hands on, right?
absolutely, we had a lot of fun with Shakespeare in our album, uh, Anything You Want to, Shakespeare's
Yeah.
Lost Comedy, right? It was a comedy that he wrote on his trip to America, which very few people know about.
Yeah.
Okay. And we did it originally for National Public Radio as a special, and then we released a record based on that experience and that broadcast.
What's the origins to the Cannibal Tacos?
I haven't the foggiest idea. It's possible that because David and Phil also wrote a couple of movie scripts. One of them was called Saucer, and it's a parody of science fiction films. And I don't know where the title came from because, as I say, David was basically editing this project. And this is, when you think about our very long history together, we were together for over 50 years. And our archives were purchased by the Library of Congress, about 5 years ago or so. And our album, Don't Crush That Dwarf, Hand Me the Pliers, was inducted into the historical or hysterical recordings before that. And during our long history, we at one point broke off into two factions. David and Phil wanted to stay in Hollywood and make albums. And Bergman and I wanted to go out on the road and meet our fans and promote the Firesign works in various parts of the country. So we had Proctor and Bergman touring and Austin and Ossman doing a radio show, late night radio show in LA. And then they wrote an album called In the Next World, You're on Your Own, that we all worked on. Okay. So we've had different iterations of partnership that have come up with different kinds of works based again on our surrealistic roots. So David will have more to talk about in that regard.
How about Zachariah? Do you know anything about that?
Yes, Zachariah was another movie that we wrote that was actually made.
Yeah.
Okay. And I remember we wrote that film at the MTM Studios, Mary Tyler Moore Studios over in Studio City. And we were brought onto the project by the director named Joe Masseau. Joe Masseau had just done a film for uh, Harris of the Beatles. What's his name? Richard Harris? No, that's somebody else.
Lester?
No, Harris, the Beatles. Who were the Beatles? You got
Lennon, McCartney, Harrison.
Harrison.
Yes.
That's who it was, Harrison. George Harrison. He did some kind of a movie with George Harrison. He was a Cockney guy, and he come over to make this movie about a surrealistic take on gunslingers on the Old West. Okay, and he was our producer was a fellow named George England, who had just done a very successful movie called The Shoes of the Fisherman, and Joe became disillusioned with the direction that the film was taking, even though we were hired, the Firesign Theatre, to obviously write a parody, a Western parody, which was perfect for us, and so George England took over the directing of the film, and we loved George, but George didn't get it. He was definitely not a surrealist. And so we ran up against writing barriers. What we wanted to do, the finished movie, is not what we wanted it to be. It's a good movie. Stars John Rubinstein as Zachariah and Don Johnson as somebody else. And it's really the story of a friendship between two young men, one of whom becomes a gunslinger and the other of whom becomes like, a hippie, peacemaker, and that's the premise of the film. But we wanted to like our records, to make it anachronistic, so that, for instance, I, as Ralph Spoilsport, would be selling used horses instead of used cars. All right, and as it worked out, George did not understand what we wanted to do with that. And so they built these surrealistic sets out in the middle of the Mexican desert, okay, and kind of made the whole movie kind of a soft fantasy instead of a hard-nosed parody.
Billville, the town that nature forgot to hate. Billville, you moved to Billville because it's your fate.
I am the mayor, and I'm the big cheese. Dang me, re-elect me or hang me. That's the will of Bill.
My name is Bill, and I'm a Billville boost. I built a big smart house to hide a toxic spill. I'm Coach Bill, I coach the no-neck twisters. Then I date their sisters, cause they love my Bill. I am a doctor, I deliver the babies, and I make sure that they're all named Bill.
Let's move! Shift your organs, Grammy. Walk out, we're doing the Bill. Back feet, shake your willy willy. Move out, we're footing the Bill. Bill! Just call us Bill.
I have a question for you, though, Philip. Well,
Sure.
It's about voiceover acting. I know there's a lot of people. I do it myself, nothing in the frame that you do, but I really enjoy it. If there was someone that wanted to start out, I mean, what sort of equipment would they need for starting with voice acting?
Well, it's very interesting that you asked that because it's gone through so many changes. I've been doing voiceover work since 1962. All right. And I started as a child actor in New York on live television when I was 9 years old. I've been doing this work for 65 years, Broadway, off Broadway, films, television, you name it. And I got into the voiceover part of it basically before I met the Firesign Theatre doing some radio. We all got into it through radio. And then I decided to commercialize it, and I got myself an agent and started doing commercial voiceovers, radio spots, television voiceovers, and cartoon voiceovers. I'm King Gerard on the Smurfs, for instance. That was one of the first major roles I had. Did a whole lot of Hanna-Barbera. But the whole business, to get to your question, has changed because people are now doing all of their work from their home. And
Exactly.
whatever their home studio is, which is basically just a good microphone, pardon me, a good microphone and some kind of recording platform. Like I use GarageBand, but there are many others. All right. And so that you can record your auditions, edit your auditions, and then send them to your agent, and your agent sends them to the people who are producing, a video game or, a cartoon or a commercial or whatever. So it's a much more independent business than it used to be.
Yeah.
But if you want to find out if you got the talent for it, you should take a class.
Mm.
And probably now you can take wonderful online classes.
There are a lot of people who have joined the profession. There didn't used to be one. There was Bugs Bunny, and that was it. Really,
Yeah.
when Phil Proctor started doing quote cartoon voices, there weren't hundreds of people lining up to audition for those voices. There was a
True.
small group of people who knew how to do that.
It's true.
And as I think the video games, certainly video game voices were all recorded at home or in some small home studio, and those proliferated, well, gigantically.
No, they were not. No. In the early days, you'd go into a professional studio to do all of that stuff. You were not beholden to have some kind of standard. Now, for instance, I'm Howard on the Rugrats. That's probably the cartoon voice I'm best known for, the father of Phil and Lil. I swear, if I say that to anybody anywhere in the world, you're Howard, they all know Howard. It's absolutely amazing. I get fan mail from China. Okay. And we did it in a little studio, in Hollywood. You didn't do anything from your home in those days.
Not in those days, no, sir.
No. And then because of COVID, basically everything changed. Okay. Instead of going into your agent's office and sitting with a bunch of other wonderful, talented friends and going into a little booth and recording, singularly or in groups, your audition, you would suddenly have to do it at home. And it's the same with on camera.
Yeah.
Which I refuse to do. It's too complicated for me anymore. But, people now do on camera auditions for major roles in series and things and movies.
Yeah.
We were auditioning people for the radio show that we're doing, radio stage show, and they've got their phones. You now audition on your phone and just send it as an attachment.
That's right.
I mean, how easy, because everybody's got a phone.
Yep.
And
That's
it's
right.
just a button you press.
Oh, if you ever need a female British vocal, then
Yes,
you know where I
there
am.
she is.
While we've got you in here now, David, before you pop off again, Wesley, do you want to ask David your number one burning question?
Yes.
David, to tell us about Cannibal Tacos.
About Cannibal Tacos. Well, Cannibal Tacos, as if you separate the cannibals from the tacos, there are two. This is a book that we've been promising to do for ever so long, and there were two real problems with it. One was that it was in various screenplay formats. That's 500 pages of, we had to change the format and bring it into what we call a play format without, so it's so the voice name and the voice stuff are basically on the same line, whatever the voice is. Anyway, that was a big job, and Taylor Jessen, our archivist, accomplished that. But the books that were being done by Bear Matter, that were screenplay books were filled with what? 8 by 10 glossies, no surprise. And we didn't have any of those. We didn't have anything that said movie. It was just the old stills that we'd had for so long. And along came Bruce Snyder, who was able to bring off the pages images which looked like movies, especially AI generated or green screen movies with beautiful projected
He's a
backgrounds.
great graphic artist, is what David is saying.
He
volunteered his services to
he
us.
understood. He understood the Firesign Theatre and had a deep reading understanding of our work. As well as being able to pop off very funny things just based on commercials. But here was the thing: illustrate this, give us, and we were specified. I think actually Taylor specified the images, and yet there was still something wrong with it, and it was that it was too big. So I said, look, let's just publish the two feature films. The one that Austin and I wrote is absolutely outrageous. It has all the scenes that were there for the producer to cut are still in the script.
Now, what you're talking about, Saucer?
Talking about Saucer in this case.
Which
and
is
then Ulysses, the other big screenplay.
also unproduced.
Also unproduced, written in 1980, 10 years after the Saucer script. 1980. The Saucer script was done for the Airplane guys. It was supposed to be in that time frame. In 1980, we're looking at all.
Wait a minute, what you just said something that I didn't understand. Written for the Airplane guys?
The Airplane guys, the Zucker brothers who produced Airplane.
Ah, okay.
With the twisted tail.
Artwork for that poster, which was done by Bob Grossman.
That's right.
The plane twisted into a pretzel.
Yeah.
What else is Bob Grossman known for? The cover of Don't Crush That Dwarf, Hand Me the Pliers. And why are we using him? He was Peter Bergman's roommate at Yale.
That's it. And because he was such a lovely man, and that's one of the, I would say, 100 most famous LP covers. One of the best really of the LP covers. But anyway, so the Firesign 10 years later is commissioned to write a movie by folks ostensibly at MGM or something like it.
That's right.
And the original time, the Zachariah time, we had also been at MGM just as it was being sold. It was empty.
Things were being auctioned off.
Ooh,
it was a weird time, but it was a wonderful time. And I bought a barrage balloon made out of plaster that you can see in the film The Time Machine, and which we used in one of our produced movies.
I think it falls on you, Phil.
It does. Yes, in our produced film, Everything You Know Is Wrong, which is available. I think you can see it on YouTube or somewhere for free, unfortunately. But yes, there's a scene which is the Army training film, How to Respond to an Extraterrestrial Attack. And you will see that movie prop employed as a bomb and dropped on Goatheart. What was my title?
Goatheart, yes.
General Goatheart. Yes, General Goatheart.
The big boom boom Air Force base.
That's right. That's right.
So I just to back this silly book. The other screenplay, which we decided that the basic story the Firesign Theatre had been telling all along was Ulysses, the Odyssey, trying to get home. The lead character is, it's the classic hero story.
Yeah.
And it really, if you want to look at all of those albums, starting with Waiting for the Electrician, which is, May I See Your Passport, Please? It goes through adventure after adventure after adventure. And it's a classic meme for writers. So we agreed, and we agreed that we would start there, and we would also be able to start with characters that the four of us getting on in years could possibly play. And so the light-footed Mr. Proctor was cast as the little winged foot guy, whatever his name is.
Mercury. Hermes,
right.
We call it.
and I, vocally responsible for this, I suppose, was cast as Poseidon, and Poseidon appeared in various
Guises.
elaborate
Yeah,
costumes. For
yeah.
one, I'm a motorcycle gang guy, and
Now wait, the motorcycle guys were the Cyclopses. Okay,
well,
because
they
of this.
come to the Cyclops' restaurant. It's
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's the single light of the motorcycle was the single eye of the Cyclops.
that's the
It was
they,
very clever. And Ulysses was the captain of an atomic submarine
at one point.
at one point. So you can see what we were playing with. And it really is a wonderful screenplay. I'm very sorry that we didn't get to do it, but they changed, which happens so often in our business, happened to us over a long career. The head of MGM was changed right before we went in to present the project to the big wigs at MGM.
Yeah, it was actually
Bagelman.
yeah. Oh God,
God.
Bagelman. Yes, we had a good contract for the next movie had we made it. Why we would have had $1 million contract and been famous Hollywood stars. It was, but sandwiched between these two feature screenplays is the original version of the Zachariah story, which I think you were talking about when I joined
Yeah.
the meeting. And the Zachariah story in that version, written back in 1970, it really was in all of our work from then on, because what we had created was these four guys who were out in the gold mining territory of the old west with their medicine wagon, always trying to sell you something. And two of them were basically actors who were kind of always arguing with one another, and the other two,
Killing me.
one was an utterly fraudulent doctor, and the other
Peter
was
Bergman.
was a sales,
Typecasting. Con
and
man.
yeah. So those characters in that old west setting stayed with us, and we used it sometimes more obviously than others.
I should point out to David that what he's really talking about is we created an origin story for the
Yes.
Firesign Theatre. And our origin story was that not only did we start in Shakespearean times, okay, the ye old Firesign Theatre, which burned down, unfortunately, but we also were reincarnated into these characters traveling the Old West.
I was going to say it was like creating a Marx Brothers unit that could play as themselves in somebody else's movie. So it was really a good career try to create that kind of unit that could go on in history and play in whatever movie you had, like the Marx Brothers could do. So it was a good try. And then all the material that didn't fit in that book, that made the book too big, I said, look, this is a big suitcase. That was the title of the movie, The Big Suitcase of 1969. And so we happily moved a lot of the short, partial material off into another book, which has also beautiful illustrations and contains juicy items like the real end of Nick Danger. And let's see, the actual script of the album.
I should mention what we're talking about here are two books that are being released by Bear Manor Media.
Absolutely.
All right. We've done quite a few projects with Bear Manor Media.
Yes.
All right. And a lot of Firesign Theatre stuff, Proctor and Bergman stuff. David, you've done a couple of independent books released.
2 novels and 2 memoirs.
Yeah. So Bear Manor Press, if you Google Bear Manor, you'll see a whole lot of Firesign stuff, and you'll enjoy it a lot. The Big Suitcase was a movie we were going to make, and it would have been really like Our Airplane, but unfortunately, our producer drowned in an accident in Hawaii, and so the film was stillborn. We never had a chance to actually produce it and film it. That would have made an enormous difference in our career,
It would have
arc.
changed. It would have changed everything he hopefully said. You can not only are these books available with the script material and the Firesign writing, but there's thousands of words of introductory material that explain the kind of things that Phil is talking about, that give the background, the history, and locate us in time.
Yeah, and also Broadway Play Publishing has published a couple of our scripts, which people can produce and perform, which indeed they have. Yeah, there you go. Nick Danger is one of them. And what was the other? I can't read that.
Don't Crush That Dwarf.
Don't Crush That Dwarf. So they are being produced in various parts of the country using the scripts from Broadway Publishing. So we're trying to continue on, even though not all of us are here anymore.
There is no stopping you, gentlemen. I think it's absolutely amazing. We've definitely got to talk more. I have more questions myself. I know Wesley hasn't even got through half of his.
That's for sure.
Thank you so much for being on the show, letting us into your life's work so far.
Well, to tie things up for this part of the interview, folks, let's just say it's really nice to get some new books from a career that's lasted really pretty much my whole life. Well, not my whole life, but all the way from the 60s. Not yet. So now, new material from the Firesign Theatre. How about that? And with that, we'll say take care. We'll see you next time. And don't crush that dwarf. Hand me the pliers.
Flash forward till the next episode.
Los Angeles, it's a tough town. It's a tough town for tough guys. If you spell my town inside out, you get legs on sale. But personally, I prefer the asphalt Arabic spelling. Lostgals.
Nick Danger. He walks again by night.
I gotta get a car.
Out of the fog and into the frogs.
Whoa! Hey, it's raining cats and frogs. Heck, I don't need a frog. I could use a dog. It's a guy thing.
He's a man. A man to reckon with.
A man to reckon with. Whatever happened to her? Always a maid, never a bride.
He's relentless. He's ruthless.
With Ruth gone, now I have to answer my own phone.
He's dogged.
Hey! Oh, hey! I've got a dog. Hey, little fella. I know what. I'm gonna call you Relent. Then I won't be relentless anymore. Get it?
At Rolling and Blackout, they turn left.
Hey, that's my ankle. You trying to tell me something, little guy? Hey, calm down. You sound like a drunken French monkey. Wait. Oh, I get it. I got my hat over my third eye. Let me just lift it up and... How's that?
About time, you dumb dick.
Let's go.
At Bughouse and Nightingale, they turn right.
Hey, who's that?
That's my announcer.
You mean an imaginary being who speaks to you?
Well, it's too complicated to explain to a dog.
Speciest.
Skeptic.
Woof.
X3, 5-star, fun, Braille final. Feel all about it.
Hey, you don't have to yell. We're standing right here.
How do I know? I'm blind. I can't see you. May I proceed?
Yeah.
Legendary bad guy Rocky Rococo faces police czar Bradshaw in mayoral toss-off. Pledges to track mud across clean city platform. X3.
I could have gotten all that information at firesigntheatre.com. Keyword blind newsboy.
X3. Phone rings in distance. It's Nick's. Hey. You won't find that on the web, smartass.
Oh, yeah. I ought to give you the hot kiss at the end of a wet...
boy. Put him up. Where'd you go?
They pass the rain-soaked cakes in MacArthur Park.
They never have that
recipe again. I love that.
And stop in amazement before a great deconstructed architectural makeover.
Frank Geary has ruined my building.
Where did he hide the fire plugs?
The whole thing looks like a fire plug.
So it looks like a fire plug. He climbs the 13 chain link steps to his workplace.
Oh, God, he's ready for mystery. Is that my line?
My line.
Oh, sorry.
He's ready for mystery. He's ready for excitement. He's ready for anything. Hey,
where's my hat rack?
It's digital.
Where's my desk?
It's virtual.
What's with this little phone? What the hell does flash mean?
Push the talk button, dumb shoe.
Oh, okay. Nick Danger, third eye.
I'd like to order a product placement to go.
Huh?
And hold the anchovies. And put on the dog.
Oh, it's for you, Relent.
Who is it?
It's a call from the wild.
Is it London?
Sounds local.
Hello, Jack?
Otto,
Dr. Firesign.
do not let this moment pass.
Yes, master.
On a full moon, sad and lonely, sat we in my mad lab only, wrapped in melancholy pride, thinking solely of the bride.
The bride.
Now use your powers, drool and wheedle. Guide the third eye to the needle.
Yes, master. Nick,
Yeah.
sit.
Okay.
We gotta talk.
You're in the pipe, streaming the virtual non-union adventures of
Nick Danger, Third Eye, America's only detective.
All downloaded names, characters, syllables, nuances, letters, and punctuation marks are the soulless property of the Excretainment Division of US Plus.
US Plus. We own the idea you thought was yours.
And this adventure is brought to you by Uncafero's Firstborn Stores.
Hello, who am me? I've got your kid. I'm Unca P. Busted, tapped, dads and mummies come unwrapped here at Unca Ferro's.
I could not believe it. I signed away my son Sean, and next thing you know, I'm floating through the store in a dog-headed barge piled mile high with bogus bounty. Well, stuff me with honey, I'm a happy man.
Are you stuck in the mud? Join the flood of shoppers leaving the banks to pledge a child and go wild at Unca P's.
I went completely over my limit at Ancafero's, and all it cost me was my little Melinda, and her college tuition was killing me anyway.
Uncle Pharaoh's Firstborn Store, open 24 hours a day at the corner of Ibis and Riddle in the newly spun Rumple Foreskin Mall.
There's more tombs to raid at FiresignTheatre.com, keyword Firstborn. And Nick Danger is also brought to you by...
This is Rocky Rococo, your sleazy weasel choice for mayor of Fun Fun Town. Why me? Because I'm running against a stupid cop, Alvin Impact Man Bradshaw. He says he's tough on crime. I've been a criminal all my life, and he's never put a finger on me. Do you want a mayor who dresses like a colorblind undertaker, eats in his car, and can't bring a bride to the altar? I think not. So, fun voters, drop into your local Rococo headquarters, get a massage, have a highball, and register with one of my professional precinct hostesses. At the end of the day, Rocky says, you need a good time more than you need a good town.
Paid for by Rococo for mayor or pope, whatever comes first committee.